Welcome back once again to the best saga on the internet, the one where I'm platinum and ranking every God of War game. So subscribe to get a platinum, cause today we are playing So this is another game that I already have platinum, well, at least the PS4 version, but on top of that there's another problem. I have almost half of the trophies already, since this was the first game that I played on PS3 back in 2017. But with my super editing abilities, I'm going to make them like it's the first time. So we're going to start on the highest difficult possible. There are some missable trophies, but we're going to talk about them in due time. The only thing I recommend doing is to kick every dog you find, blind every enemy you can, and also burn every enemy you can. You'll see why later though. And we follow right where we left it, with the Titans climbing to Olympus and all the gods joining forces to defeat the Titans. Poseidon takes a Titan to the sea and then rises as a horse crab monster that attacks Gaia. So we rip off the jaw of one of the horse heads and end up on Mount Olympus, where we start climbing and get some really epic scenery. We enter a building and face an important enemy, the Centaur. There are only 3 in the game, and in order to get the trophy No Gods No Glory, we have to get the 3 Centaur generals by doing the quick time event. This trophy is almost unmissable, but you never know. Poseidon keeps attacking Gaia, so we enter inside her body through a hole that he made before. There we reach her heart. And to the right we'll find the first special item out of 10 for the trophy Priceless. We keep climbing through Gaia until we reach her head, where we fight Poseidon on a mecha suit. Kratos ends up launching himself through Poseidon's armor, taking the real Poseidon out. Following that, he is brutally unalived by Kratos, which gives us the trophy releasing the floodgates. With Poseidon's death, the seas grow, flooding all cities. With the help of Gaia, we climb all the way to the top of the Olympus, where we reach Zeus.
And you will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge!
So with the supercharged lightning, Zeus sends both Kratos and Gaia flying. Kratos lands on Gaia as she gets a hold on the mountain, and she refuses to help him, betraying Kratos and letting him fall right to the underworld, into the river Styx, where the souls start consuming Kratos' power, leaving him weak once again. We end up in the realm of Hades, where Athena appears once again. Remember that Kratos killed her a few hours ago, but now for saving Zeus' life, she has ascended beyond the gods themselves, and now she is willing to help Kratos to get his vengeance, since now she sees the truth or something like that. Athena reveals that in order to kill Zeus, Kratos needs to find the Flame of Olympus, and upgrades the Blaze of Kratos, providing him with the Blaze of Exile. Hades greets Kratos once again, and while we explore the underworld we meet Perseus, who is a prisoner of Hades. He asks Kratos to free him, and in exchange he will give us his bow. So on his own unique way, Kratos frees the guy, and we just take the bow of Apollo, which grants us the trophy burned to a crisp. The bow of Apollo has the ability to shoot fire arrows, so we use it to burn some vines that were blocking our way. Afterwards we reach the judges from the underworld, where in order to advance we have to face 3 combat trials. Once we finish them, we talk to the judges, who decide that we are not ready to die yet, so they let us continue. At this time I upgraded the Blaze of Exile, which gives us the trophy Hidden Your Stride. Yes, just like in God of War 2. They were running out of names, I guess. While exploring, we found a statue of a girl who calls Kratos father. He thinks that it's Calliope talking, but he quickly finds out that it isn't the case. Hades interrupts the chatting to keep teasing Kratos, and while we continue fighting through the Hades, we get the trophy Bloody Hell, by spilling 500 buckets of blood. While completing a puzzle where we must get down a cage, we find the not-so-secret Hades Arms Room, which gives us the trophy Mr. Hand. A bit after we reach the Forge, some kind of cavern where a lava river goes through, and here, the smith god Hephaestus is a prisoner. The smith mentions that he is a prisoner because of Kratos. We'll deep into that later though. Kratos asks Hephaestus about the Flame of Olympus. The smith replies saying that anyone, mortal or immortal, dies at the touch of the flame, refusing any help to Kratos. So we keep on our way and find the Sword of Olympus nailed into one of the girl's statues. It ended up here after Kratos fell from Gaia. Once again the girl talks with Kratos, and while they chat, Kratos takes the sword. The girl then asks Kratos to free her, but for now he refuses to help the child. We go back to where we started, but now with the bow of Apollo we can burn the veins from this big door. This wakes up 2 guardian Cerberus, and once we kill them we open the door. Behind the door we find the Palace of Hades. There we find the body of Persephone. Yes, the crazy bitch we killed in Chain of Olympus because she wanted to destroy everything, remember? So after completing a puzzle, with the most absolute disrespect, we use her coffin to open a hole in the chest of Hades, where inside said hole we find Hades himself, who starts to complain about the things Kratos did. like kill Athena, kill Poseidon, kill Persephone, you know, tiny little details. So after all that bitching, we start the most diabolical fight in any God of War game, where we literally start ripping the guy apart piece by piece. And we absolutely humiliate him until we steal his weapons. Then the second phase starts and he lost his helmet, so now we can see his skull. I mean, that is the ugliest thing that I ever seen, but I love it. Finally, Kratos uses Hades' weapons to steal his soul, and when he finally dies, from his body thousands of souls start escaping to the underworld. Once the god of the underworld dies, we get the trophy Hooker. Now with the soul of Hades in our power, we can safely dive into the Styx river without being harmed. Just down from where the fight took place, we find the second special item in the game. Following the river, we end up once again in the forge. Hephaestus receives Kratos acknowledging that Hades is dead, and proceeds to yap the story of his life. As the smith of the gods, Hephaestus was highly appreciated, to the point that Zeus gave him the hand of Aphrodite as a reward. But the day that Kratos killed Ares, everything changed for the smith. Zeus imprisoned him and took his daughter Pandora away from him, so he tries to recreate her with the statues we've been encountering. At the end, Hephaestus asks Kratos to retrieve Pandora, but as usual, he denies any help.
Surely you can understand. You were once a father, too.
After that low punch, Kratos goes on his way, back to the beginning of the level, where there's a Hyperion gate that we can now use since we have the soul of a god. Once we cross the gate, we see our next victim and we reach the city of Olympia. While following the path, Gaia appears again and tries to get help from Kratos, which of course, since Kratos was betrayed, he refused to help her, and cuts her hand with the sword of Olympus. Gaia falls once again and Kratos drops down her hand, which gives us the trophy Handyman. Right after, we are at the door to Olympia, but before being able to open it, we are attacked by various hordes of enemies. So I use chances like this to use the wall of Apollo as much as I can to burn enemies and to kick every dog I saw. After that, we cross the door and reach Olympia, where we can see Helios fighting with a Titan. Meanwhile, we find some sentries, and right here I rip apart an Olympian sentry, which gives us the trophy Rip 1. After a bit of fighting, the second Centaur General appears, as well as a lot more sentries. Now the whole burning every enemy thing pays off, because we get the trophy It's Getting Hot in Here for burning 100 enemies. Now we got the second Centaur, leaving only one left. Afterwards, we use a giant crossbow to shoot at Helios. Once hit, the Titans takes him and crushes him, just like they did my poor boy Deimos. We reach the highly injured Helios, but a bunch of shielded sentries appear to protect him. So after killing a Cyclops, as well as all the sentries, we have free pass with Helios. He tries to appeal to the good side of Kratos, telling him that he remembers that he owes him from the time Kratos saved him from Atlas. Chains of Olympus, remember? So he promises to repay Kratos if he spares him. Kratos gives him the chance and asks where to find the Flame of Olympus, but the god of the sun doesn't reveal anything and ends up trying to attack Kratos. That doesn't go as planned, so he tries a last time to appeal to Kratos, but makes the terrible mistake of lying to him about the power of the flame. So, you know, you point a flashlight to a guy's face, you lie to him indiscriminately, what do you expect? Am I right or am I right? So Kratos does what any good Samaritan will do, and he really rips off the head of the guy. And now, to add to the whole sinking world full of soul situation, with the death of Helios, the sun gets covered by clouds. We receive the head of Helios, and to the right of his body we find the third special item in the game, and we get the trophy Shine Lord. Now, using the head of Helios, we uncover a giant door and we go inside the mountain, into the path of Eos. The whole place is dark, so we must use the head to advance. So then again, a great place to spam the head attack to blind enemies. Once again, we have a bit of chatting with Pandora, but Kratos keeps ghosting her. So at the end of the path, we have a big chain with some kind of furnace on the bottom. The thing is that we use the heat or the wind to fly out into the chain of balance. And while going up, Kratos takes his sweet time to kill a Titan in one effing hit. What an absolute unit. Anyway, we reach the caverns and land into a giant puzzle, so we start completing it piece by piece. But in the way we meet Hermes, who is the absolute most annoying little shit.
Never learn, never change, ever cursed, forever ever doomed,
In asshole. Ugh, I hate him. So he runs away at full speed while Kratos is like the turtle of the story, and slowly starts climbing the big chain, which is pure comedy by the way. The climbing is so unnecessarily long, I mean, what were they thinking? Anyway, just like that, we reach the Flame of Olympus, and inside the flame lies Pandora's box. The same box Kratos opened in the first game to kill Ares. Athena conveniently appears to explain that although Kratos already used the powers of the box, inside it still lies a stronger power that it has been missing, so it's time for a bit of lore time. So after the big war with the Titans, Zeus took all the evil powers that the world left behind, and made Hephaestus make a vessel to hold said evils. So Hephaestus made Pandora's box. These powers were trapped inside the box, but when Kratos opened the box and used the forbidden powers to kill Ares, Zeus started to feel fear. Now Kratos needs Pandora's box to kill Zeus, but the flame protects the box, So Athena reveals that in order to destroy the flame they need Pandora, the child that Kratos has been ignoring the whole time. So now she is the new objective. Anyway, after a bit Hermes appears once again, so we follow him through the city. Finally, Kratos launches himself at him and it finally gets him injured. To the right of the head of Athena we find the fourth special item and we keep looking for Hermes. We find him and finally fight him. And after all the yapping he could exhale from his mouth, we have the pure satisfaction of cutting his legs to finally kill him. Now Kratos models some new boots, and we get a trophy shoe delivery. We go back to the flame and go up a staircase, to a puzzle where we must play Guitar Hero. Once finished, a giant contraption elevates the flame and allows us to open the structure that holds it. While opening it, we are suddenly stopped, since the three judges still hold the chain down the mountain. On our way to fix this problem, we meet Hera, Zeus' wife, and the one who sent Argos to kill Kratos in God of War Betrayal. The drunken lady talks with Kratos about all the shit that is going on, and when Kratos asks for Pandora, she just goes away and sends his son, Hercules, Kratos' half brother. Hercules immediately rants about Kratos being Zeus' favorite, since he got to do all the epic stuff and became the new God of War, and Hercules, well, he got his 12 little missions. So the fight begins and we fight his minions. After a while he joins the battle. Still, we use every chance we get where there are a lot of enemies to blind as much as we can. Hercules gets a bit cocky, and as he is not paying attention, Kratos attacks him and steals his metal fists, and with them, we absolutely destroy the guy. With the death of Hercules, we receive the enemy ancestors and the trophy Sibling Rivalry, and down from where his body is, we find the fifth special item. With the cestus, we are now able to destroy these blue rocks and open our way to advance. We reach Poseidon's chamber where we meet Poseidon's princess, who's asking for help, but of course, she doesn't want anything to do with Kratos. Anyway, the thing is that Kratos wants to reach her, and she has a portal on her back, so we find the portal that connects to that one and we must complete a puzzle to reach it. On the puzzle, we must kick some dogs into the platform to lower it down, but remember what I said and kick the shit out of those dogs. The dogs spawn infinitely here, so this is a good place to start blinding and kicking every one of them. Eventually, the trophy obedience school for kicking 50 hounds will pop up. We get access to the portal and reach the princess, who is absolutely terrified and begs for mercy. And I mean, you gotta understand her. Just imagine, the guy who's been killing a lot of gods lately just shows up in your room and looks like this. That shit must be terrifying. Anyway, in the room where the princess is, we take the sixth special item. Now while we escort the princess, we are attacked by sentries and stuff. And since I've blinded the shit out of everyone, I got the trophy Nice Time for blinding 100 enemies. Now you see why I got you spamming that shit all game, right? Anyway, now we use this mechanism to open these doors. And to keep the doors in place, Kratos uses her to stop the thing. And as we can hear, she brutally dies. And we get the trophy. I didn't do it, but I wish I did. Hooray! You know what, maybe the girl that wanted to escape from him in the first game was right all along. At the end of the doors we talk to Pandora, who tells Kratos to find the labyrinth in order to find her. We keep going and reach Aphrodite's room, who seduces Kratos and asks him to stay. And I mean, you know what are you gonna do, right? You just look at it. Oof. I'm gay. So Kratos accepts the offer. I didn't, it was him. Couldn't be me. Why are you looking at me like that? So after pleasing the goddess of love, we receive the trophy Ladies Man. Now in the chamber behind the bed we find the 7th special item. With everything dealt with, we cross the Hyperion gate on the bedroom. That takes us to the forge, where we talk to the cock, Hephaestus. Kratos tells the smith that he is looking for the labyrinth. Hephaestus realizes that he is looking for Pandora, and lashes out at him, saying that it's his fault that he lives there and that they took Pandora from him. So he explains how after he crafted the box, he decided that the best place to keep the box safe was the Flame of Olympus. So now the only thing that he needed was a key, but when he forged the key, it took a life of its own. They became like father and daughter. So when Zeus took the box, he hid the child from him, telling him that the safest place would be the back of Kronos instead of the flame, thinking that no one could reach the box from the back of the Titan. But Kratos did it, and he opened it, showing to Zeus that Hephaestus had lied. After making him confess, Zeus took Pandora, and imprisoned Hephaestus to the forge. So basically, if Pandora reaches the flame, she'll die. Hephaestus quickly changes his mind, and says that he'll help Kratos to kill Zeus. He only needs the unfallowed stone to make a weapon. The stone lies in the pit of Tartarus, so he opens the door to it and off we go. On our way to the Tartarus, the last Centaur General appears, so you know what to do. After getting him, we finally get the trophy No Gods No Glory. We reach the gates of Tisiphone, where after completing a puzzle, we are able to open them, and get the trophy Open Sesame. We finally reached the pit of Tartarus, and pay attention and save your game, because we are going to get the trophy Hitman. To do it, we must ignore all enemies and follow the path down as we keep them following us. Once we reach the end of the path, we are going to go all the way up again, ensuring once again that every enemy is following us. Once we reach the top where we started, by using the Claws of Hades, we are going to spam the L1 plus circle attack. Be sure to be close enough to attack them, but not so far since you can accidentally stop your combo. So after around 10 minutes of spamming, we reach the 1000 combo, and the trophy pops up. Right ahead we reach Gaia's hand. While inspecting it, someone picks us up. And who could it be?
Tomb Kratos!
Yes, that's right, Kratos, Kronos himself. But he was in the desert. What is he doing here, you must be asking? Well, basically, after Kratos took the box from his temple, Zeus banished Kronos to the Tartarus, and now he wants to kill us, understandably. So the fight begins, and just imagine how strong Kratos is, he is literally stopping the hand of a titan. What an absolute unit. Anyway, during the fight, Kratos rips us a fingernail from Kronos and oh boy, that is hard to watch. Anyway, Kronos made the absolute most terrible mistake of his life. He ate Kratos like he did with his sons, but with the help of the Sword of Olympus, Kratos opens his way out, with the Unfallen Stone on his power. Remember that stone? It's the one the mother of Zeus feed him instead of the baby. Oh my god, everything is connected! Kratos already has what he's looking for, but he is on a bloodlust, so he breaks his chains and uses them to pierce through Kronos' jaw, to finally hit the final strike on his head. And with Kronos dead, we get the trophy Titan Slayer. We go back to the forge and Kratos gets mad with Hephaestus, since he basically sent him to his death, which makes me think, he didn't know that the stone was inside Kronos? Like, it was just a coincidence that Kronos ate him, and he was like, oh look, here's the stone. Never mind that, Hephaestus crafts the new weapon and gives it to Kratos, and then he attacks him. My guy, what were you thinking? You're really just gonna go against the guy who killed Hades? The guy who just killed Kronos? This man is out of his mind. So the thing ends as expected with Kratos killing the smith. To the left of the body we'll find Hephaestus' ring as the 8th special item. We keep on our way and we reach the architect's workshop, where we have a lot of chests. So by taking one of them, I got the last Gorgon Eye, which popped the trophy Eye Candy. In the same room, after lowering a cage with chests and shooting at it, we find Daedalus schematics as the 9th special item. And I found the last feather, receiving the trophy Feather Plucker. Way ahead we reach Hera's garden, where we find her absolutely trashed.
I told him the day you were born to kill you.
Claiming that we'll never get out of said garden, and after her cutscene to the left we find her Chalice as the last special item, so the trophy Priceless pops up. While exploring the garden I found the last Minotaur horn, which comes with the trophy Are You Horny to Win? Almost at the end of the puzzle, Hera has the audacity to call Pandora a host. Kratos takes that a bit too personal and just kills her in the moment. See, I told you he's in a bloodlust. Using her body, we complete the last part of the garden and get a trophy seeing things from a different perspective. And afterwards, we reach the door to the labyrinth. But here I took a moment, since I'm packed with red orbs, to fully upgrade the Claws of Hades. Now it's just a matter of selecting and using the 9 types of souls it has. And once we use the last one, we get the trophy Sold Out. We reach the labyrinth once again, and before continuing we are stopped by a giant scorpion, that after we freeze it with his own sting, we destroy. Now we break the sting and receive the Boreas Ice Storm, as well as the trophy Freezer Burn. After a while we reach Daedalus himself, Icarus' father. He thinks that he is talking to his son, but once he sees Kratos, he realizes that his son is probably dead. And to clear any doubts, Kratos just tells him. We activate the last part of the labyrinth, killing Daedalus on the process, and finally completing the puzzle, which gives us access to the labyrinth. Now it's really important that we make a save, since for the secret trophy Amazed, we must complete the labyrinth without dying, and that is easier said than done. So in the labyrinth, we reach this section where we must fight, and once in a while spikes come out of the floor that instantly kill us. So if by any chance you die, I recommend to quit the game and reload the save, since if you reload the last checkpoint, it is going to count as a death and the trophy won't pop up. After that we reach Pandora's cage. We wake her up and she is happy to see Kratos. My god, clearly she doesn't know a lot about this guy. Anyway, we get the trophy Rescue Me. I took a bit of time to finish upgrading my arsenal, and when we upgrade the last weapon we get the trophy maxed out. With the help of Pandora we advance through the labyrinth, and close to the end Pandora says to Kratos that she knows what her destiny is.
I'm not afraid. I understand what lies ahead.
We get out of the labyrinth, and since we didn't die, we get the trophy Amazed. Now we have to destroy the chains of the judges in order to raise the labyrinth. So Kratos goes all the way down to the judges and one by one we deactivate them. freeing the chains. Once we break the chains, Pandora calls Kratos for help, since Zeus has found her again. So we go up the chain again and get the trophy 3 Wise Men. We reach Pandora and find her with Athena. So once again we go back to the flame and start opening it again. Since now the chains are free, the whole labyrinth starts racing through the Mount Olympus. Once we finish, Pandora sees the flame and tries to reach it to free the box, but Kratos tries to stop her.
I will find another way.
No, Kratos. There is no other way. Let me go!
Zeus appears and takes the child. After a lot of arguing,
Everything to do with her. Put her down.
Zeus throws Pandora, releasing the full hate of Kratos, and the fight begins. As they fight, Pandora wakes up and reaches the flame. Once again, Kratos tries to stop her, but she wants him to let her go, but Zeus tries to convince him to not let her go. So since he does the contrary of whatever Zeus says, he lets her go. The sacrifice of Pandora left the box free, so Kratos opens it once again, but is empty. After Zeus has his good laugh, we follow him to the last battle. So punches fly, punches land, the boys are having fun, but suddenly Gaia appears. She is not dead. On the contrary, and now she doesn't want to only kill Zeus, now she wants them both dead. So as she destroys the top of the Olympus, we fall into her, and as we did in the beginning, we reach her heart, but now we expose it. Zeus appears once again and we start the final fight. But I'm not gonna lie, it is a bit tricky, but once we do it a few times, it becomes much easier. And finally, we stab him into the heart of Gaia. Everything explodes and we end up in the Mount Olympus once again. Kratos takes the sword from the body of Zeus, but as he walks away, a ghost comes out of his body and attacks him. Zeus takes all the power from Kratos and knocks him down. Inside his head, Kratos relives all his life. He finds Pandora, who turns into a flame to guide him, and in the way he gets to see his family once again. At the end, he finds Pandora's box again, and when he opens it, he finds the real power.
Hope is what makes us strong. It is why we are here. It is what we fight with when all else is lost.
The power of hope. Ah, come on, you can't convince me otherwise, this is pure cinema over here. So with the power of friendship, we finally kill Zeus once and for all, and when punching the life out of him, we get a trophy Retribution. After Zeus disappears, Athena appears, and demands Kratos to give her the power from the box. Athena explains how when Zeus placed all evil into the box, in the event that the box were opened again, she placed the most powerful weapon inside the box. Into the confusion of what happened with the said power, Athena realizes that when Kratos opened the box for the first time, all the evils infected the gods, and Zeus was consumed by fear, which is why he tried to kill Kratos so badly, after he killed Ares. So if the evil went to the gods, the only answer is that the power she put into the box ended up in Kratos from the very first time. And as I said, this power is hope. So when he faced the demons in his head, he was able to use it. Athena asks once again to get the power, but Kratos takes the sword, and he gets ready to use it. Kratos stabs himself and releases the power to the world. Athena shows her real face and leaves Kratos there to die, but after the credits we can see that and threw himself into the seas. Once we finish the game, we get the trophy Vengeance Complete for completing the game, and the trophy Unhuman for completing it in Titan mode. Now the last trophy we have to get is Up to the Challenge, so we need to complete the Challenge of the Titans. There are only 7 challenges and I'm not gonna lie, they are really easy. I don't remember having problems with not even one of them. Maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. So when completing the last challenge, I got the Up to the Challenge trophy as well as the Platinum.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
This game is another masterpiece, a really good ending to this part of the story we've been following. Really solid game, so S tier, but just behind God of War 2. So thanks for watching, I hope to have made you laugh at least once, at least I hope to have entertained you, so if I did, please subscribe, leave a like, a comment and all that. Don't forget to check out my other videos and I hope to see you in the next one.